What is happening? Welcome back to another video. On this video, I'm going to explain a little bit more about your hideout and what do you do off-raid in the Tarkov and what the medical things are for, how you heal yourself, how do you craft stuff, how do you build a gun, stash management. I'm going to go through the gear, plate carriers to the body armor. What's the difference? I'm just going to go through a lot of like the off the raid stuff and what you need to look for in raid too. But I'm just going to go through everything, kind of teach you a little bit about healing and everything else. So let's get into it here, okay? We're gonna go to our character here, and then we're gonna first off we're just gonna talk about traders. All right, that's the first things first. So your traders are here. You got all these traders. Everyone's got their own style of trading. Some people have some stuff, and other people have other stuff. Like Proper's kind of more on gun side. Therapist is the healing side. She's got all kinds of medical stuff. Fence is the scav rep, so he has stuff that you can buy that aren't like fully equipped guns, I guess you can say. Like if we were to inspect this, like the durability on this one is 100. Sometimes you won't get this at all. Okay, well, they're both 100. They're all 100. Okay, so anyways, this stuff isn't always in stock from Fence. You can buy it, but then if so many people buy it, like if I go and try to buy this right now, it might not even be in stock. So you can like refresh it and see if it's still there. It is. So, but anyways, so his stuff is randomized. He's just got a bunch of like random stuff. Usually if you see like good ammo on here, it does not last at all. Pretty much anything that you see on here really doesn't last too much. Okay, but a lot of the times the stuff that you can get on here is way overpriced. Like, for example, a Bitcoin is $994,000 right here, or rubles. That is overpriced for a Bitcoin considering they're only worth about 500,000. So, but you can buy them here if you need Bitcoins. You can also trade for Bitcoins on certain stuff. Like you can't find this off of the flea market. So if I filter by item, it takes me to the flea market. So obviously you can't buy it from the flea market. This is just telling you this is a listing from one of the traders that is on the flea market. So I guess you can technically buy it off the flea market, but it's not somebody else listing it for sale on the flea market. So if I were to purchase this, he wants 2 Tetris and 2 green batteries. Which if I were to look at these, which I don't have the Tetris or green batteries. Green batteries are $100,000. You need 2 of those. And then these are $100,000. So you're looking at about $400,000 to trade for a Bitcoin, which is about what they're worth. So the point that I'm trying to make is Fence, all of his stuff is way overpriced. Okay, but a lot of the times if you're early on and you're not leveled up enough and you can't get some of these guns, you can go and buy them from Fence. But the attachments that you put on there, sometimes you can't buy them either. So the first thing you got to really worry about is leveling up your vendors. My vendors are maxed out. They're all level 4 besides Ref, which is like online arena mode, which I never play. But his currency is GP coins. So every rep kind of has a different currency. Really, it's just Ref and Peacekeeper that has a different currency. So Proper deals in rubles, Therapist deals in rubles, Peacekeeper deals in dollars. So if you look up over here, this is the dollar amount that I have, and then this is the ruble amount that I have, which is your main currency, and then this is the euros amount that I have. Euros really isn't a big currency in this game. You don't really need euros for a lot. You do need it to go to Icebreaker, which euros is I don't know what the conversion is on euros. You can convert your rubles to euros by one of these traders. Yeah, right here. So give an example, 50,000 rubles 50,000 euros would convert to 8 million rubles. See that? So the currency is way more valuable in euros. But like I said, you don't really deal in euros too much. Sometimes you'll see euros on the flea market. The only other time that I really needed euros is for just some missions you got to turn in 25,000 euros or to upgrade your hideout. So anyways, each trader has its own kind of specialty. Mine's maxed out besides Ref and technically Fence, but Fence you can't get to level 2. So his maxed out is on the Rep, which is right here. So his is 3.28 Rep. I believe it's 5.0 to max Fence out. Okay, and in order to up your Fence rep or any rep, really, is by doing missions for them. So if I go to a therapist here and I hit task, this is the mission that I have active for her. And it is survive on the location by extracting through the courtyard. So this will give me 0.03 rep for therapist. Okay. So the only time like rep matters in leveling up your vendors. So they will be backed by levels, by your current level, and then they'll be backed by how much money you spend with them. And each time from level 1 to level 2, you got to spend, I don't know, let's just say 10,000 rubles with them. And then you also have to be level 5. And then you also have to have their rep up to like say 0.30 in order to level them up to level 2. Okay, so in order to level them up, you have to do missions for them, and then you have to spend money with them. Now, spending money with them is just, it's not technically just saying, I want to go here and just buy a bunch of stuff. It's also the stuff you sell them. So if I go and sell proper some bullets here, this 5,000 rubles will go towards the amount that I would need to up him. So say, you know, I need to spend $10,000 with him, which is not that much considering this is just 5,000. So I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it was to go to like level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. But whatever the case may be, you have to either sell him the 10,000 rubles or you have to buy $10,000 worth of stuff off of him, and that will get you the money that you need to upgrade him. Now, obviously, once you get to level 4, you're maxed out. You don't have to worry about doing that. But it's 4 levels. All right. So each level that you up him by, that you go up by, he unlocks more stuff that you can buy from him. All right. From every vendor. And then they also have trades from the vendor. So you see like this costs 4,000 rubles. So I can either pay, or 40,000 rubles. I can pay 40,000 rubles for this stim, or I could also trade some matches and a UV lamp for it. Okay, now you can go onto the flea market and just buy the matches. So it's 27,000 for those matches, and it's 9,000 for that. So you're looking at about 37,000. So technically you'll get it for 3,000 rubles cheaper if you were to purchase this off the flea market, or if you already have it in your stash, you technically kind of get it for free. Does that make sense? A lot of the expensive stuff they're going to want a lot for, like this one, they want 20 level 39 plus dog tags, and you need level 10 plus, or is it just level 10? It might just be level 10 dog tags. You need 140. So it's like a lot of an asking price for this, but this is also a lot of money. Usually these go for about 1 million rubles. Yeah, so about 779 to a million. Now this fluctuates. This is the flea market. Okay, so this is people who have this in their inventory and they're selling it. Okay, so that's why this number will fluctuate. So when you go and list something on the flea market, you don't want to list something. Say I have this lead X and I want to list it. I don't want to list it for 900,000 because the odds of it selling right away isn't going to happen. So you got to kind of list it right around this price here so that it'll sell quickly, because you can only list so much stuff on the flea market. And then it also costs money to list stuff on the flea market. So say here, I got a GPU. GPU is a very valuable asset to have. What you do with GPUs, the main thing that you do with GPUs is the upgrade in your hideout for the Bitcoin farm. You need 50 of them total once you get to level 3. Once you're level 1, I can't remember what it is, maybe 15 of them you can have in your stash. Level 2 is 25, and then level 3 is 50. But the more GPUs that you put into here, it creates your Bitcoin faster. So this is creating a Bitcoin for me, but it's taking 4 hours to do so. But the more GPUs you put in there, the lower this number will go. Okay. So for the flea market, say this GPU, I want to sell this. It's going for 499,000 rubles right now, and I can refresh it, see if that's sold, because I'd kind of like to get this price instead of this price, but that's almost $100,000 difference there. So if I were to list something, let's just take something out of my junk box, something I just don't really care about, pliers. I don't think this even goes for much. 17,000. So to give you an example, if I add the offer, it's going for 17,000. Actually, what is the exact? I can't remember what it was exactly. Okay, now it's 16,000. Somebody else just listed it. See how that changes? So if I were to go and list this, I can charge whatever I want for this. Okay, so even though it's going for 16,000, I can put $1 million in here. and sell these things for $1 million. It's obviously never going to sell for $1 million, but there's also a tax to put it on the flea market. So if I'm putting it for $1 million, they're going to charge me almost 200,000 rubles just to list it on the flea market. Okay, but it's not always going to be this much. This is pretty much saying right here how much that it should be, or the average. This is how much it should be around. So if you go too low or too high, it's going to charge way more of a fee. So if I go, since it's min 17,000, so let's just say I put it up for 4,000, it's going to cost 1,600 rubles. If I put it up for the price that it wants, it's going to cost 900 because I'm closer to the value of what it's actually going for right now. So your fee is going to be less expensive. Okay. So, but this is for rubles, this currency. So I could also list it for dollars and I can list it for euros. Okay. But just for the sake of this, we're going to list it for rubles because it's the most common currency in this game. Let's see what it's at now. We're just going to filter by item, which just means it's going to filter by this item to look on the flea market. It's going for 16,000. So I'm going to put it on there for 15,999. And I'm going to place my offer and it's going to charge me 900 rubles. Now, regardless if that sells or not, I am still paying the 900 rubles. Now, it only lists for 24 hours. So if it doesn't sell in 24 hours, you'll get it back, the pliers back, but you're not going to get that 900 rubles back regardless. Okay, so you can list it again when you're going to pay another 900 rubles. Usually a lot of stuff goes quick. Like, I'm kind of surprised that hasn't sold yet, but some of the most common things, oh, there, it's sold. See, your offer was sold. So sometimes, usually it doesn't take very long, as long as you put it at, I try to put it at like the cheapest price or right around the cheapest price, just so that it sells quick. Because when you're trying to sell a bunch of stuff, if you get back from a raid and this is what your backpack looks like, and you're trying to sell all this stuff at once, you can only list 6 items at a time until they're sold. So you kind of want it to sell quickly. Now, another thing you can do in the flea market is you can add, we'll filter, see how much these are going for. These are going for 20. So I'm going to list this at 19,999, but you can also list them as a pack, or you can list them as, you know, you can sell both of them at the same time, or list them together so that it doesn't take up a slot used. So if I place the offer for that and I go, you see the add offer, I only have 1 item listed on the flea market right now, even though it's 2 because I listed them together. So the flea market doesn't open up until I think level 15. So till then, you really have to worry about nothing on the flea market. You just, everything that you get from raid that you want to sell, you're going to want to sell to all of the vendors, okay? Because you're going to need to up their price or whatever they're, in order to upgrade them to the next level, you have to spend so much money, right? So then when you're selling stuff before you're level 15, you want to sell it to the vendors to get to where you need to be on that. Makes sense? Okay, so now, well, let me talk about this. One other thing. So whenever you're upgrading your vendors, okay, so if you go into a raid, or actually I can just, well, you can do it from the raid or you can do it from the character itself. So I'll just say, like, say we go into a raid, okay, we go to ground 0. If I hit next, I can go here. This is the insurance thing. I can hit insure all, and it's going to cost me 43,000 to insure all that. Here, let's see, those items just sold already on the flea market. So I can insure all of it. I can insure different things, just separate things if I want to. It's only costing me 43,000 to insure this stuff, which is really cheap considering, like, this gun alone is probably worth over $150,000 or $100,000 with the attachments on it, probably $150,000 alone. So if I insure it for 43,000, it's a chance that I can get it back. That's totally worth it. This gun, the only reason I'm using this gun is because I have to level up my LMG. But other than that, like, say I'm going to use this gun here. All right, like the MK16. This is going to be worth so much more money. Like this gun, I probably have, I don't know, just the sight alone on this Razor sight goes for $155,000 on the flea market alone. So I'm not saying like every time that you're going to insure something's going to be 43,000. Obviously, the more expensive that the weapon is, it's going to cost a little bit more to insure. But just to give you an example, one piece on this weapon is worth $155,000, and I can insure my whole thing for $43,000. That's my helmet, my goggles, my gear, my backpack, everything. So it's really worth it just to make sure you insure your stuff. Don't even worry about the price. Just do it, okay? Especially if you're playing on PvE. Now, the only way you're not going to get your insured items back is if you're playing on PvE or PvP. If somebody loots your body, which on PvE, scavs and PMCs will loot your body if you die in there. Not all the time. It depends on how much time left is in raid. But they'll loot your body, and if they take your stuff, you won't get that back on an insurance claim. And if you do get it back on insurance claim, depending on who you insure it with, it's going to cost, or it's going to take longer for it to get back to you. So if I go to a raid, let's do this again, right? I can insure it with proper, but his return time is between 19 and 28 hours. Now, you can only insure it by 2 people. Therapist is the next. Okay, her return time is the same. I don't know why it says that, because usually it's not. It's usually about half that. Usually it's about 12 hours. So I don't know why it's saying that right now. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, 8 to 16 hours. All right. And it costs a little bit more to insure with therapist. So it's about $10,000 more to insure with therapist than it is with proper. But you get it back faster. Okay, so yeah, it says the return rate is very slow on proper. Return rate says it's unknown, but it's a lot faster. Okay, now the money that I'm paying to insure this by, this is one easy way to up your vendors for the price. You know, you got to spend so much money with the vendors. This is an easy way to upgrade therapists and proper, because every time you insure, this counts for the amount of money that you need to pay or buy from the vendors to upgrade them to the next level. So that is an easy way to help. But anyways, point being, just insure your stuff. Now, for example, if you go into a raid with your buddy and you die and your buddy doesn't, he goes and loots your body and takes your stuff to bring it back to you in the next raid, all that stuff is no longer insured. So even knowing he brought it back to you and you picked it back up, he technically looted it, so it became uninsured. So you have to reinsure your stuff again. Okay. So the other things on the traders, Fence, like I said, he is the scav trader. You need to up your rep with Fence, because you can also do scav runs, which scav runs are basically, you're just like a normal AI target in the game, and you just run around and you can help scavs kill PMCs. Scavs will hunt PMCs, but scavs will not hunt scavs. So if you run it in with a scav, other scavs won't kill you. The only ones that are going to kill you that's a scav technically is a boss. You can't, if you go up to a boss, he's just going to kill you anyways, but other scavs won't kill you. So it's basically like a free run. You can pick a scav and go in there. This would be my scav loadout right now. Every time it's randomized. You don't always get the same stuff every time you go in with a scav. The higher your rep is with Fence, the better stuff you'll load into the raid with. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's really important to get this up, because you need it for the main missions, number one. And number two, when you do scav raids, you need that stuff. Now, everything that you get from a scav raid, you can keep and sell it all. Okay? But if you die with the stuff that you have in the scav raid, none of it's insured. It don't matter. You're not losing anything, because you never had anything that you took in that was yours. So scav is a basic loadout. This is all free stuff right here. So if I just load in as this scav and I just immediately extract, I get all this stuff for free, and then I can just sell it for free money. Now, you can't just like keep doing back to back scav runs. There's a cooldown period early on with your, it depends on what your Fence rep is, and a couple of things in the hideout. If you upgrade, it'll lower that cooldown time. I don't exactly know what mine is, but it's not very long. It's probably only like 10 minutes or so. So I can almost kind of go back to back, but it depends on your scav rep, which is determined by Fence and his rep here. Okay, makes sense. Peacekeeper has a different currency. His is in dollars, so you always kind of want to make sure you have dollars. Nobody here in currency really has euros, I don't think. I don't think I've ever bought anything off of euros from the traders. It's usually just off the flea market if you're buying. Oh no, here's the euros. Okay, so they do have euros. All right. So that's the traders. let's go into some of the health stuff here. So your health stuff here, this is your total overall health for every limb that you have. Okay. If your head is blacked out, usually, not all the time, but if your head's blacked out, you're close to death. And then your thorax and stomach, if those are two blacked out or one of them's blacked out, you're going to be coughing the whole raid. Okay. So you're going to want to bring those back. Otherwise, you're going to be coughing, and then you're going to lose. I guess you can't see my cursor right now, but it's underneath my head right here. You have food and water rating right here. And this will drastically fall if your thorax or stomach is hurt or blacked out. So you're going to constantly need to drink water or eat food if you don't unblack out your stuff, and then you're basically just going to have to run to an extract. If your food and water get all the way down to 0, you're going to die. If your water gets all the way down to 0, you will last a little bit longer. I don't know the exact time, probably like 7 minutes or so. I honestly don't know. Your food, if that goes all the way down, you're going to die pretty quick, a lot quicker than water. So you always want to make sure that is full, or you're not low on that. But like I said, if you black out your thorax or your stomach or even your head, that's going to go down. Okay, so if you black out your limbs, you can bring them back with some kits. Okay, they have two things. They have a CMS kit, and then they have a survival kit. Survival kits are, you have more to a kit, so I can bring back 9 limbs, where CMS kits, you can only bring back 3. The survival kits will bring back my arm to a better durability than what a CMS kit is. So like, say my left arm is 60 of 60. If that were to black out and I bring it back with the survival, it'll bring it back to, I don't know, let's say a 40. Okay, 40 out of 40. It's not going to bring it all the way up to a 60. And if it gets blacked out again, that number is just going to keep going lower and lower and lower each amount of times that you use a CMS kit in raid. Once you get out of the raid, it'll reset. But the CMS kit will bring it down to a lower. So for survival, brings it back to a 40. The CMS kit will bring it back to a 20 or 25. I don't know the exact number, but it's something like that, okay? And then once you use that, then you can start to heal. So that's just going to bring it back to 1. And then you have to re-heal yourself with a med kit to bring it back to the 40 or whatever it is. You can't bring back your thorax. I don't know if you can bring back your head either. I can't remember if you can bring back your head. I don't think you can. Now I think of it, I don't think you can bring back your head or your thorax. For sure your thorax. Okay, so once those are blacked out, it's done. Okay, so you're not dead, but you're going to be, you're hurting. You just need to get to an extractor. Your guy's going to be coughing the whole time, and he's going to be hurting the whole time. Your vision's going to be blurred and stuff like that. Okay. So other than the CMS kits, let's talk about some of the meds, the other meds you use to bring back. All right, so they have a couple things here. You have an AFAC. This will stop bleeds, but it uses, so it's got 400, right? This one's 400. This one's 388. So these ones that one I've used a little bit, right? And you can find this off of Dead Bodies all the time. But it says use time is 3 seconds. It stops bleeding, but it takes 30 points off of it. So if this is 400, you're going to negative 30 points just to stop the bleeding. That's just a light bleed. Now a heavy bleed is going to take 170 off of the total 400 just to stop the bleed. Then you have to heal yourself on top of that, whatever it is. So if it's down to say 30 out of 60, and it's bleeding, you want to stop the bleed, it's going to take 170 off of the 400 points, and then you also have to do another 30 to bring it back. So it's going to be 200 essentially to stop the bleed and to bring your arm back, as long as it's not all the way down to 0, obviously. Okay. So the use time on this is 3 seconds. This costs 175 to stop a heavy bleed and 45 to stop light bleeds. Now, these won't bring back like broken legs or broken arms and stuff like that. A grizzly will do everything. So you can bring in different meds for that. I don't have like splints or anything on my guy because I never really carry anything other than grizzlies and these really. But a grizzly kind of is a trick of the trade. It has everything that you need, but it's a longer use time. So it stops light bleed at 40. It costs 40 to do it. Stops heavy bleed 130. So it's a lot less of a cost to do it. It also removes fractures. It takes 50 off of that, removes concussion, and removes radiation exposure. And grizzlies, this one has 1800. Okay, so it's really nice to have a grizzly, but it takes up 4 slots. But really, that's not that bad considering if you weren't to have grizzlies, you're going to have to carry one of these. Then you're going to have to carry splints and then other stuff that you need to, like bandages and stuff like that. So it's going to take up 4 slots anyway. So it's nice to have a grizzly. Now, early game, grizzlies are hard to find and you can't buy them off the flea market or from traders. So early game, you're going to have to run like these AFACs and then splints and stuff like that. But later game, or you can find a grizzly out in the field. Some of the bosses will carry them, or you can just find them at med stations out in the field as well. So I just like to run the grizzlies, but that's pretty much it for the healing aspect of things. Yeah. So let's move on to guns here. Okay. So the gun customization is very in-depth. Let's just go and build a gun, right? Let's just build just an M4. I think Mechanic has the lower that you need. Let's see here. He does right here. Okay, so if you buy the lower, bring it down over here, and then I'm going to turn it straight up and down because, yeah. So here we go. So this is just the lower. This is the base lower. So if your gun has a durability rating on it, okay, so let's go to my M4 over here that I already have decked out. Let's just go to this one right here. So this durability is 83. So you can repair this, but every single time that you repair it, the durability is going to go down. So it's 81.3. So if I repair this, oh no, max to 83. Okay, so but it doesn't go back to 100 no matter what. Every time you repair it, that number is going to keep going down. So in order to fix it, all you have to do is replace the lower. So if I were to inspect this gun and take all this stuff all the way to the lower, leave the lower going alone, and then put all this stuff onto this lower, this gun would be 100%. Okay, but just for the purpose of this video, let's just build a gun from scratch. Okay, so this is the M4 lower. So let's just put an M4 upper on it. And then I like the bigger, longer rifles personally. I like that rail there. And I also like a longer barrel. Let's put on a 20-incher. Okay. And then let's put on I like to run the Mini Monster suppressor, which you need the SF3P. So each one of these, so some of these are just muzzle brakes or flash hiders, and then some of them you can put on a silencer onto. Obviously, you can pick this one as a silencer right now. It just threads onto the barrel itself. But I believe for the Mini Monster, you need the SF3P, which I can't find at the moment. I don't know why. SF4P. SF3P. Okay, so there's SF3P, and then I can put on here. I like the Mini Monster. Now, each one of these attachments are going to have stats to them. So this does negative 0.05 recoil. My ergonomics goes down by 9, which is basically like how fast you can move with the weapon. But this is kind of a longer range weapon, so I'm not really going for speed too much. This adds muzzle velocity. Durability burn is plus 55. Heat is plus 8%. Okay, but I'm just going to put this on for the video. Mini Monster, okay? We need a gas block. So each one of these are going to have different, stats on them. Some are going to be more expensive than others. But you can go through and really get in depth to see which ones you want. Now, early game, some of these might not be available, but there's a way to tell. And I'll show you here in a minute. So let's just pick the Daniel Defense. We'll put that on there, and then we're going to put the M-Lock on there so that we can also, actually I don't want the M-Lock there. I want the M-Lock on the side rail so that we can attach a flashlight to it. So there's the M-Lock, and we can put tactical flashlight on there. And then if we want the other side, we can add another M-Lock. And then we can also put on like a laser, which that thing is huge. Isn't there like a smaller? Here we go. Boom. Tactical laser. And then let's put on a grip. I like to run the Daniel Defense. Sometimes the angled grips are better, but if you go to the stats, you can obviously see what is better. Like this helps with ergonomics, where I believe these verticals are better for recoil. Yeah, so it doesn't have as much ergo, but you're also getting recoil. Less recoil, I mean. Okay, and then let's put a stock on this thing. We're going to put that. And then we are going to add, I like to run the Daniel defenses as well on this. Right there. And then let's put a pad on it. I believe this one is better. +2 ergo. This one is, yeah, so we'll put that on there. Okay. Now let's do the pistol grip. Oh no, we're going to do that. Not yet. Okay. No, that's the Meg. Where's the pistol grip? Here we go. So the pistol grip, this is one of my favorite ones here. It does negative, or it adds, it helps you with recoil and your ergo. Not all of them are going to do that. That's a really expensive one. You could just go for like an MOE or MIAD or something like that. So this one is 1 + 3. So let's just put this on there. And then let's add, I like to run the 60 round mags. In this game, you have to reload your mags by putting each bullet in one by one, which takes a long time. So it's nice to have a 60 round mag. Now, obviously, reloading a 60 round mag is going to be longer than a 30 round mag. But as long as you don't drain it all the way down, then it's not that bad. But I just like to have the extra ammunition, especially if you go and you find like the goons or a boss. It's just nice to have the rounds because you'll blow through a 30 round mag on fully auto fast. All right, let's put the release in there. This adds us +2 ergo. And then let's put our sight on here. So that's -1 ergo. We need a 30 millimeter sight for this. I like to run, so you can do like hollows and stuff like that. I like to run the Razor 1:6 zoom. I never actually looked at these to see if it, oh, so they're all kind of -1 ergo. So let's put that on there, and then I like to run the Razor. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I can add stuff on the top rail, so I can add this, and then put a sight on the side, so I can like canted the gun, you know what I mean, if I want to. If I don't want the just that sight, I never really do this, so I don't run that, but that's an option that you can do. You can also put lasers on top of the gun, which kind of runs into your sight, so it's kind of pointless for that. You can put this on there, which is kind of pointless as well. All right, so let's add the bolt in there. I like, some of these are stupid expensive. I think that's the stupid expensive one. There's the Avalanche. I honestly can't remember. I think it's the Raptor that's expensive. All right, so the gun is workable and usable. So now, okay, all this stuff I don't think I have any of this in my inventory besides maybe the 60 round mag. I might have some of this stuff. So what you do is you go and hit assemble, and it says here your missing parts required for assemble, which means I don't own any of these. So I have to hit buy parts, and then it's going to take me to the flea market. And it's going to show, so this is, so I can buy all of these parts off of traders, which is really good. Shouldn't be too much money for everything. But see how it's different currencies. So this is 2,000 rubles, this is $30. So it goes off of these currencies here at the top. So all you're going to do is just hit purchase. Just go down a list and purchase all of them. Okay, so the ones down here that says not available, all you got to do, is exit out of this, which you got to remember what these are. Okay, so the Razor and the AR-15 13.5 inch M-Lock. Okay, so all you got to do is hit X at the top here, and then it'll bring it up, and this is going to start going off of, okay, see, there you go. 180,000 for that freaking Razor sight, man. I told you that's expensive. So then you're going to purchase your last two things. I've never seen this before. I'm buying too much stuff at all together. I want to make sure I'm not a bot. Okay, confirm you're not a bot. You must choose all. The antique teapot. There you go. Sorry, the offer has been purchased already. So what was that? All right, so then all you do is hit back, you hit assemble. I missed some stuff, I guess. Oh, I didn't buy that. Okay, then you hit assemble, boom, it's assembled. Then all you gotta do is back out, just hit yes, and then there you go. You got your gun. And then you can even make modifications of this. Say I don't want that sight, I can take that off and put this one on. You know what I mean? So you can make all kinds of adjustments even after. I like the razor sight, it just looks cleaner. So there you go. That's a weapon build. There's so many options you can do. There's only going to be so much available to whatever level you can get. Like the razor sight isn't going to be available to you right away. But all of this stuff is stuff that you can find in raid. So even though it's not available to you to purchase, you can find it in raid and keep it and use it. So a lot of like the bosses guns and stuff will have the high end parts that you can take off the gun, or just take the whole gun itself and then part it out for your own gun. Okay. So that's weapon customization. You know, while I'm in the hideout, let's just go to some of the tasks, some of the things in the hideout. I want to go over your gear too, but since this is done, I need to craft another one. So right now I have a mission from Ragman. It is a daily mission right here. I have 24 hours to get it, and I need to hand over found in raid and fleece fabric. Okay, so basically you go into raid and you have to find these, and they'll be highlighted with a gold check mark to let you know that you need them for a mission, which is basically this right here. Okay, but you have to find it in raid, so I can't just go onto the flea market and find this and purchase it from the flea market and turn it in. It has to have the symbol found in raid. Okay, now once your hideout is upgraded, even depending if it's not fully upgraded, you can still craft some stuff. So for me, like I had this available to craft, so I just went ahead and crafted it. And if you craft something, it is considered found in raid. So I need 2 of those. I already crafted one. I'm going to craft another one. You need a sewing kit, and you need 2 of these hats, which I have. But if you don't, you can hit filter and go to the flea market and buy 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this. It's going to take 40 minutes to craft, and then I can turn that in. So right here, see the golden check mark? So that is considered found in raid. So I can go to my trader, go to Ragman, task, find and transfer, turn one of them in, and I can turn the next one in after it's done crafting, and then complete this mission that gives me 6,000 experience, 57,000 rubles, gives me 2 basically duffel bags, and then it ups my rep for Ragman. And then he also gives you like he'll give you those awards through the messenger. You just go to your messenger app and receive all. This is the stuff that I had just listed on the flea market earlier. Okay, so let's skip the hideout for a little bit. Let's just go to gear. Okay, so there's a couple different types of gear that you can run here. All right, there is body armor and there's plate carriers. What is the difference? Body armor is, which is kind of funny because I don't know if I have, right here, body armor, boom. Okay, so body armor has no pockets. It is just strictly body armor in itself. So if you run body armor, you're going to have to run a rig to be able to put your megs inside the rig. Okay, which I do have this. I can put on there. Boom. Okay, so there's no armor rating on this, but this has an armor rating of 320. Right now it's a little damaged, so I can repair it. And it brings it to 310. Every time you repair something, it goes down. Okay. So if you run body armor, you have to run a harness to put your megs in. Okay, so you can't just put your megs in your backpack. You have to have them in this or your pockets, because when you reload, it is only going to reload from here or here. It won't reload from your backpack. Now, you always have to make sure there is a slot open. So this meg takes 2 slots, right? You always have to make sure that there is a slot open whenever you reload, because if you don't have a slot open for it to go, either your pockets or here, it's just going to drop the meg on the ground and you're going to have to re-pick it up. So you always want to make sure you have one slot open in your pockets or your rig here for the empty meg to go in when you're reloading to get the new meg. And whenever you reload your meg, it is always going to go from whatever has the most ammo in that meg first. So if you have 10 megs in here, it's going to reload the one that has the most ammo in it every time you hit reload. Okay, so body armor, if you hit inspect, there's plates, okay, and they are level based. This is a level 5 plate. Some body armor will have, you know, left side, back side, neck, groin protection, all right, which this one does. It has all of that. But the only ones that I can see, this is built-in armor. So the only ones on this armor that I can exchange is the front plate and the back plate. So I can take them out and replace them if they're damaged or if I want a higher armor rating. Okay, now you can find these in raid. If you kill somebody and they have a higher armor, you can just swap them out in raid for yours, or you can purchase these from the flea market as well. Right here, Ragman has them. So you want to make sure that your plates are still good. So that's for the actual body armor itself. Now I personally like to run plate carriers, which is this here. Okay, so plate carriers has the armor built in as well. So this one I have a left plate and a right plate that I don't have in right now. I don't know why, but I can purchase plates and put them in there. So this armor rating is 4. And I can buy this off the flea market. This isn't from a trader, so I can buy this and then put them in there. Okay, so this has the plates as well, and it also has the slots to put your megs and stuff in. I personally like to run these more than the body armor, just because I feel like it's less weight. So down here at the bottom left, which you can't see right now, I'm at 23 weight. And if I put on the body armor with this on, I'm at 30 weight. So the more you weigh, the slower you're going to run, and the faster your stamina is going to go down. So I personally like to run the plate carriers over the body armor just for that weight. It means you can carry more stuff, you can be more heavier on looting and stuff like that. The armor is usually better though if you run the body armor personally. Like this one is 310, this one's 184. Now you can get some really good plate carriers. You know, this goes up to 240. It just depends. Now helmets, you can get really in depth on helmets. So that's the difference between plate carriers and body armor. Okay. Now helmets you can get really in depth with as well. So you can edit your helmet and build your helmet kind of like how you can a gun. So all you would basically do, so this one already has like a night vision piece on there. I'm just going to take that off for now. So if you right click on it and you go to link search, it's going to show you everything that fits on this helmet. Okay. So I like to make, with this Fast MT helmet, if you just keep going down, it'll show everything that fits on this. I like to make like a Stormtrooper helmet. That costs a lot of money. Right here. $349,000 for this, but I think it's sick looking. So I can put this, boom, Stormtrooper helmet. All right, now I need the ear things. So let's go back to link search and let's buy the ear things. And we'll put this on, boom. Now I got a Stormtrooper helmet. I think it's pretty sick. So obviously if you go to link search on this helmet now and it offers like a visor, I can't put this visor on with that Stormtrooper helmet because obviously you already have a visor on. Not every helmet you can run this Stormtrooper helmet. I think it's just the Fast MTs, but there's a bunch of customizations you can do with different helmets. Like here's another Stormtrooper helmet that I have with the night vision goggles on it. So basically all you would do is just add this piece onto there and then go and purchase the night vision goggles for it, which all you have to do is click the mount, link search, and it shows you what can go on here, and just keep scrolling down until you get to the night vision or what that piece goes to. All right, so with this helmet you also have earpieces. So earpieces, I mean, you can run, this is just what I have in my inventory right now. With this kind of helmet you have to run the small earpieces. It won't fit like the big earpieces with this helmet since your ears are covered, so you have to run just like the main earpiece on this one, on this style helmet. Now this one I can run, you know, I can run this earpiece on that. Backpack's pretty self-explanatory. Each backpack is going to have their container size. This is, I think, the biggest one you can get. It is 48. I might be wrong on that, don't quote me. But each backpack, this one's 45, but some of them will look different. So like look at this one, the space that you have in this one. If I open this one up, I got another backpack inside that. So see how the slots are a little bit different on that. just something to think about there. All right, so let's go to injectors. I have a lot of injectors. They go for a lot of money. Each one is used for something different. I'm not going to go through all of these and explain each and every single one. Mules, basically, if you're overweight, you can only run till your stamina's down, but your stamina won't regen unless you're basically standing still or crawling on the ground. So if you pop a mule, it'll last for so long. I don't know exactly how long it lasts. 900 seconds. And you don't need to it regenerates your stamina. Basically, you can just like run forever for that time. So if you're completely overweight, say you find a tank battery or something, and you want all this stuff in raid and you're too fat and you can't run, pop one of those, boom, you can run to your extract. Okay, there is other stems in here that you can use for, like, one of them stops bleeding and one of them and regenerates your health. See, this one stops bleed, so sometimes I like to carry these. And then this one regenerates your health. You just pop them real quick, and then you don't have to worry about the animation of this. So if you're like in a big firefight and you don't have time to heal, just pop a couple of those and you're good. Okay, those are just the basic ones. There's a lot of different ones. I mean, look how many there's different ones, and sometimes they'll go for stupid money. For example, this one's only 26,000, but some of them go for like 200 and something thousand dollars. So stems are useful. They're expensive. You can find them everywhere in the map. You can purchase them off the flea market. You can craft them yourself, but I'm not going to go too much in depth into them. Magazines, yeah, just self-explanatory. You have a bunch of different sizes and stuff like that. Ammunition is very important. Depending on the gun that you use, it's all about the penetration here, okay, and the damage and penetration. So this gun right here has 31 penetration. It shows you here how it penetrates the armor that they're wearing. So if they have level 1, it's good. Level 2, it's good. Level 3, it's good. Then once you get up to level 4 and down, it's not very good. All right. So then if you go to different ammo, this one has 38 pen, 52 damage, and this one does really good all the way up to level 4. Okay. And then they also have, there's one that is a 44 right here. 44 pen, 49 damage, but this one does good all the way pretty much up to level 6. Now, ammo can be hard to find. So like that kind of ammo there, I don't think I can purchase this ammo. I think I have to find it in raid. Yeah, see, like I can't purchase this ammo. You have to find it in raid. So a lot of bosses, if they're running a 5.56 gun, usually they'll run good ammo, unload their ammo, and keep it. You'll get ammo from doing missions as well, and if it's good pen ammo, then you're going to want to keep it. But you have to find it in raid, and usually you only find like 50, 60 at a time. So when you find it, you want to make sure you keep it and use it for whenever you know you're going into a really hairball situation. Okay, so ammo is really important. When you're a low-level character, you're not going to have access to some of this good ammo unless you find it in raid. But like first starting out, your pen might be like 18 or 14 or something like that. But it is very important once you're level up enough to keep on leveling up your penetration on your ammo. Your ammo is very, very, very important in this game. All right. I think that pretty much does it for like your gear, your backpacks, you know, your plate carriers and stuff like that, and your meds. So this pouch here, this is your safe lock box. You can upgrade this by doing missions and make it bigger. Whatever is in this box and you die, this will always still be here. You will never lose what is in this safe box, okay? So there's only certain things that can go in here. Not everything can go in your safe box. There's some stuff you find in raid that you can't put it in the safe box. Like this will carry money, dog tags, a couple of different things. I don't know if it tells you exactly here. Small organizational pods for storing various small items such as paper, money, coins, metal keys, key cards, and dog tags. This one pretty much documents, a leather field case for documents and map storage. And then my injector case, obviously self-explanatory, is where I keep my injectors. And then I always keep my grizzly here just because they're expensive and you don't want to keep going through meds, so I always keep that in there. Up here is your special slots. So the only things that can go in your special slots is flares, your CMS kits. You also have special stuff like there's pliers or tracking devices or cameras. These are all things that you need to do for missions, like jammers and stuff like that. You can put them in your special slot. If you die with stuff in your special slot, that doesn't go away either. That always stays in your special slot as well. Okay, but you can only put certain things in your special slots. All right, so like you can put a paracord in there, which a paracord, I don't know if I have any right here. Yeah, you can put this in there, and this is basically used for extractions. When you get into a map, there's certain extractions that are open. Some of them you have to have a paracord and a red rebel, which is this thing right here, in order to extract. And sometimes there's stipulations. Sometimes you can't have a vest on or body armor on. You got to put in your backpack. Sometimes you can't have a backpack if you extract from those kind of locations. Okay, but that's your special slots. You can only put certain things in there. All right, so as for inventory, you don't start out with any of these kind of boxes, these junk boxes, weapon crates. This is stuff that you can buy. They're pretty expensive. I think this is about $1 million. Yes, it is. This one is way more than that. I don't know if you can even buy this. You can, but she wants, I don't know exactly, she might want like 60 moonshines. You have to go to a therapist. Let's just see. What was that? Thick weapon case. So she wants to trade defibs, lead X's, which, like I told you, lead X's are $1 million almost, right? So she wants 15 of those plus 15 defibs, which are $300,000, and then she wants 15 ibuprofens, $70,000, plus 15 toothpaste, $33,000. So you can see how much. Add all that up. That's how much it costs to get one of these things. All right, but she also has a different barter you can trade for 50 moonshine, 50 vodkas, and 50 whiskeys. Which moonshines are about probably 500,000. Yeah, $200,000 right now. That's really cheap for them. Usually they're more than that. Give you an idea. Now you can get these. I haven't purchased any of these except for the junk boxes. Everything else I have gotten through missions. Actually, I did purchase one of these, but all of these I got through missions. Okay, let's go to the hideout. Okay, so your hideout, this is very important. You want to upgrade your hideout as fast as possible because each thing is going to give you bonuses to something. Okay, so like for example, your intelligence center, I have everything maxed out, everything is unlocked, but it starts at level 1, it goes up. Okay, so like this gives me my scav cool down timer negative 40%. Okay, I get a boost of basically 20% of task money every time I do a task. It boosts my money, my insurance return time, flea market fee. Okay, that's just for that itself. Workbench, it gives you reduces weapon repair costs using repair kits. Okay, so all these are going to give you buffs for something like that. Okay, so it's really important to upgrade this. You have to upgrade this for certain missions because you're going to have to craft stuff through it. So if I go to the laboratory, you saw that I was crafting that. I mean, I can craft anything that I need that needs to be found in raid, and it's really useful for that. You can even craft boxes, gasoline, all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, now gasoline, so you have a generator. You have to run your generator in order to craft most of the stuff. If you turn your generator off, the crafting time is going to skyrocket up. Okay, so you have gasoline, which isn't cheap. It costs a lot of money. I don't think I've ever purchased gas. I've always found all these in raid. But if you upgrade your solar power, it cuts your gasoline consumption by 60%, which is awesome. All right. But there's a bunch of stuff you can craft. You can go into your workbench, you can craft ammo. So like here's good ammo. I don't know what level you have to be or what level your workbench has to be in order to craft this 5.56 ammo, but this is got 44 pen. This is the good ammo for 5.56. Okay, but I can only craft 90 of them. But in order to craft it, I need pliers, I need 180 rounds of the M855 5.56 ammo, and I need gunpowder. Now this stuff can be expensive as well in the fleet. It's probably 100,000. Yep. Pliers, it won't go away every time you use it. I don't know why I don't have pliers. They're cheap. But so the special slot stuff won't go away when you craft, but this stuff will. So you got to make sure you have this in order to craft that. But you can come in here and you can craft all kinds of different stuff. You can craft grenades, more cases, Stuff that you need more ammo, either for your hideout or for missions that you need to be found in raid and you're just too lazy to go find them in raid. You can just craft them right here. Some of the stuff is really hard to find in raid, so it's really nice to have this if there's a mission that you need. Like, for example, one of the missions I needed to craft this ammo, I think it's the, no, I needed to find this ammo. It's this right here. I need to find, I think, 6 of these, which these, I've only found 2 of them, and I've had so many hours in this game, I've only found 2 of these. I don't know where they spawn all the time, but I've only found 2, and one of the missions I needed 6 of those, so I just came in here and crafted it, and they needed to be found in raid. But you need all this stuff right here in order to craft it, which you can purchase off the flea market or off traders, or you can just find it in raid and use it. So none of this stuff has to be found in raid in order to craft. But once you craft it, this itself, it will turn into found in raid, the ultimate product. So this is very useful. You can also craft, you know, meds. I can craft grizzlies now. I just need this to craft grizzlies. Pretty self-explanatory. You can craft stems, craft all kinds of stuff. And like I said, everything you craft will be found in raid. Even though you go and purchase this part off of the flea market, whatever you craft will be found in raid. Very useful. Your water collector, if you have a water filter, it uses it, creates super water. Super water is basically used to craft moonshine. But super water, I think you can also drink super water while you're in raid, and it like really buffs. It really buffs a lot of your stuff. What are you doing? But I wouldn't drinking this in raid. I've never done it before, but I can only imagine. So then down here, you have your security. I guess that doesn't really matter. That's not what I wanted to go to. You have your scav case. Once you unlock your scav case, you can choose to negotiate with scavs. Basically, you turn in something to a scav, and then after like 40 minutes or so, they will return with just random loot. The better item that you give them, the better chance you have of getting better items back. Usually, if I were to give them moonshine, it's going for about 300,000 right now. I will at least get that back in loot. Sometimes you'll get that, you know, you'll get some crazy stuff back that is worth way more than that. But you can trade this stuff for the scavs, and then they'll bring back cool stuff. Your cutlass circle is basically the same thing as a scav case. You can sacrifice items, so I can put a moonshine in there and hit sacrifice, and it'll give me random items after 6 hours or so. Sometimes you can get some really good stuff depending on how much money worth of stuff you put in there to sacrifice. Obviously, you sacrifice it, you won't get it back. Your gear rack, once you upgrade this, you have mannequins. It really helps with your stash and your inventory management. You can just preset this, put stuff in here, basically take it out of your stash, or you can use this as a preset. If you like really deck this out and you just die and you just go over here and hit preset, you can preset to the next guy, and you just keep adding them up. So every time you die, you don't have to go through all this crap. You can just hit preset if it's already ready to go. Your Hall of Fame is just basically mementos. That also gives you perks too as well. Your gym, you can lift some weights and it ups your endurance and stuff like that. Shooting range, you can come in here and practice shooting. Pretty self-explanatory. You can also walk around inside, kind of take a look at everything. You can really deck this out. You can put posters on the walls. You can put mementos on. Like here, I got that parrot sitting there. Got a little gaming station. You know what I mean? I put that rooster there. I got some posters on the wall somewhere. I don't know where I put them. So anyways, you can come up here to the firing range. Now, whenever you use the firing range, the ammunition that you use here, it won't count against you. It's just free ammunition, all right? So it's not going to use the ammunition that you have in stash. So you can just sit here and just use the whole thing. I can't reload it because I don't have another mag in my inventory, but I just use that whole mag, right? And if I go back to my character, my mag is full. So you don't use the ammunition that is in there. What else on hideouts here? Yeah, the intelligence center, like all this stuff is very useful. I can craft GPUs. A lot of this stuff you're going to use to craft stuff for main missions. Okay, so it's very important. It is going to be level based, and it's going to be trader level based in order to upgrade all this stuff. But you need all kinds of stuff to be able to upgrade it. I don't know what it all is. I can't remember. But each stage, you're going to need a bunch of different random crap. Not all of it needs to be found in raid. Only the things that are check marked on there, which I can't show you an example of it because it's maxed out, but it'll tell you up here what you need. And the ones that have the little found in raid symbol means that has to be found in raid. So you can buy the rest off the flea market, but those items have to be found in raid. You can craft them if you're able to, or you have to find them in raid in order to upgrade it. And then it also costs money to upgrade it, and then it takes, I don't know, like 20 hours or so to keep upgrading it. Some of them take a lot more than that. Can you turn that down, buddy? Can you turn it down? Turn it down. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it about the hideout. Your stash. Oh, yeah, so you can upgrade your stash. I had purchased the stash to upgrade it. I don't know what you need to upgrade this, but your stash is very important because this can fill up super quick. My stash is massive because I have the maxed out stash that you can get. But off the start, your stash isn't very big. It's honestly probably like from here to like there. So if you just have a bunch of random crap like this, it takes up so much space if you don't have junk boxes. So it's really nice to have the upgraded stash. I think that's pretty much it. So if you go to your overall stats, it shows you what level you are, all your stats here, your skills. Right now I'm trying to get my light machine gun up to level 5 for the main mission. Light machine gun, I'm almost to level 5, I'm level 4. So if you go to your task, these are all your main missions right here. And then these are all your side missions. Any ones that says like any location, this is just random. So this was eliminate PMC operatives from 50 meters away while using any 9x39 caliber weapon. You got to kill 20 of them. So that you can do on any map. This one here, you can only do on woods. I got to eliminate PMC operatives on woods. Like just 2 of them. And I get an ammunition case for that. And 600 euros. Your task will be level based, and it depends. Like once you complete one task, they'll give you another task, and etc. You can just hit this, and then it takes you to different, or it'll organize your missions from the map that you choose, or the maps. So like all the Labyrinth ones are here, then all my streets ones, all my shorelines. I only have one of each right now. But yeah. So if you're wondering, like, why is this only 70% complete? Because I need to eliminate scavs inside the main barracks on reserve. I only have 7 out of 10. So I got to go inside the main downstairs and kill 10 of them. So, yeah. That's pretty much it about the hideout and stash and gear and guns. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer for you. All dog tags. So the dog tags are from PMCs. When you kill a PMC, you can take their dog tags. These are very useful. They go for a lot of money. One, if you have a lot of them, like this is probably $1 million worth of dog tags. They're level based, so level 48 will be worth more than level 10. But these are very useful because you need these for a lot of missions. You need to turn in a lot of these for missions, and you need them to trade. So for example, if I wanted to trade for one of those item cases, she wants 80 dog tags, and I get that. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much the rundown about this. About your stash, which is a very important part of Tarkov. This is where you probably spend about half of your Tarkov hours in. Half of it's in raid, half of it is here in your stash. So stash management and your hideout. Very, very important. Upgrade this as fast as you can. And it's not that easy to upgrade, and it takes a while to upgrade, but as soon as you're able to upgrade it. Grind to upgrade it. All right. We will see you guys in the next video.